Why? His name's not popping up.
Yeah, Missouri. I mean, so like, you see where I'm going with this?
Bill Cartwright's in.
Bill Cartwright, USF.
Yeah.
And then he won championships, 3 of them with the Bulls.
Harris Barton, who's always sitting courtside at Warriors games, by the way.
Yeah.
Harris Barton, class of 2018.
Well, there you go.
Class of 2018. Wow.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
Wow. Here's an Ask Anything question. From the 415 Comcast Business Text Line.
All right.
Bruce Smith or Reggie White?
Wow. I will cape up for Bruce Smith. I think most people are going to take Reggie White, and that's probably the right answer. But Bruce Smith is one of those guys like Hank Aaron, where, Hank Aaron never felt like during his own era he got the appropriate just due, because there was Willie Mays and there was Roberto Clemente and there was all these other guys that for whatever reason always got all the headlines. But then you look up at the career and you're like, oh yeah, but that guy's at the top of all the lists when it comes to RBIs, hits, home runs, etc. Do people know Bruce Smith has 200 career sacks?
I would, before you went,
I love Bruce
I was
Smith.
actually leaning towards Bruce Smith because I think his career is very underrated.
It's like dramatically underrated.
I'll go Reggie
Is
White
he
here.
Virginia Tech?
Yeah, Virginia Tech. I'll go Reggie White, who, by the way, went to Tennessee, played in the USFL. Reggie White gets the run. They both are incredible defensive ends. I'm going to go Reggie because he destroyed the Niners more.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Smith didn't play against the Niners all that much. Although Bruce Smith may have the more accomplished career, I'll lean Reggie White because Reggie White he destroyed the Niners.
Did you root for those Bills teams? Because I certainly did.
I did.
Yeah, Cornelius Bennett, Steve Tasker.
I got beat up in the playground because I bet this kid named Marlon Kittles. Marlon Kittles, the first Super Bowl, I bet him $5. $5 for
Yeah, it was like
a lot of money. Yeah, for an 8-year-old, it was like, boy.
So you were talking out your, what?
No, I wasn't talking, but we bet. And then,
Well, did you have the $5 on the front end?
I didn't. I had to pay him like $1 at a time for like 5 weeks.
Did he get any juice on that? Any points?
No, he didn't get any points. But when I then had that $5 on a Monday, I got a nice little rib shot, and had to watch myself in the elementary school. Marlon Kittles, he was the school bully, man. He was a problem. You know how you had that one kid anointed the king of the school where guys were getting beat up? I don't know if you guys did this in private school, but in public schools, you had the king of the school.
What is your thing with the private school thing?
I'm just saying, I don't know how you guys operated there. I'm just saying, I don't have anything against private schools. I'm just saying in public schools,
everyone walked in a single file line, Bonte, and no one talked.
There were lots of bullies at private schools, I'll tell you that. Any
bullies
school.
everywhere.
Yes.
I don't know. I never went to a private school. I don't know. I'm just saying, Marlon Kittles,
with
man.
privilege comes lots of bullying,
But
too.
I thought you guys would catch up to, like, damn, you were betting as an 8-year-old? Yeah, I was betting as an 8-year-old.
No, none of us is surprised by that.
Why?
None of us is surprised.
My dad worked at an off-track betting place most of my young life, so I played the ponies as a kid.
There you go. What up, Duke? Duke 49. Duke, what's up? 415 Comcast Business Text Line. What about John Taylor? He's not in the Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame yet.
Little Guido's riding around, and he's texting us right now, or texting me, and he's right in front of your spot, Eddie's Cafe, and he's saying, "Get them grits.
Get them
it's
grits.
A killer breakfast."
Yep, he knows. Guido knows.
Young Guido.
Guido knows about the grits at Eddie's. Shout out to Eddie's because I used to go there with my old Pop Warner coach, Greg Isom and Paul Berger. Shout out to Greg Isom and Paul Berger. Greg's a big golfer. He's really excited that I'm getting involved in golf, and he's always on the course. I'm like, dude, everybody's asking me to play 18. It's like, I just learned how to swing. I'm not playing 18 yet.
Yeah, you got to.
Right? I got a while to go
before you can walk.
Yeah, I'm good. But they used to always we used to always go to the beach on Saturday mornings and work out and run sprints and stuff like that as kids. As they were coaching us, and they used to take us to Eddie's Cafe. They would have their old mugs in there, and the old it's Asian family runs it, and they're the best, man. Hey, Greg. Hey, Bonte. What would you like? The usual. Worldwide Hef used to go in there all the time.
So what is your usual for breakfast?
At Eddie's Cafe, it was the grits, it was an omelet, and it was some nice bacon. A couple slabs of bacon. That's my usual. Even at Millbrae Pancake House, I always look at the menu, and I'm getting an omelet all the time, whether it's the Denver omelet or the Supreme omelet.
And people keep asking exactly what a grit is, and I guess I even wanted to look up the definition just to make sure that I got this down. The way that they have it written is a grit it's like a porridge, and it's made from cornmeal, okay? It's from hominy, corn that has been treated with a particular kind of water in a process that is very difficult to explain.
Yep. Liberty Eli. Should I ask anything? This is fun. I like this Ask Anything. There's some crazy questions here.
Well, holiday Friday.
Drunk or high? I play sports high. I would never play sports drunk. Keep it real. Maybe the dumbest question. I don't.
Well, I used to hoop a lot at St. Mary's Park between the ages of about 14 to in my 20s. And yeah, like Lamar Odom, we like to get down before we were playing hoops.
Yeah, I didn't like to get. I didn't do anything before. I like to be completely locked in when I played. After, it was better to do things after, when you wind down, you're done playing. I never like to play intoxicated or under the weather, as they say. No Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame yet for Tim Lincecum. One day. Make sure we'll get him on the ballot and we'll vote him in. It's crazy. All the guys I voted for got in. All the people I got in. I voted for Buster, voted for Patrick, voted for Gary, voted for Andre Ward, voted for Julie Foudy. They all got in. Maybe it was the only vote that mattered.
Did anybody not get in on your ballot?
Justice Smith didn't get in. Who else
Are
was
you
on the
limited
ballot?
in how many people you can vote for?
Yeah, here, let me see who was on the ballot. I'll pull it up right now. Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. Bay Area Sports Hall of Fame. As we filibuster here, ask us anything. 888-957-9570. Rich Aureli at 720 to talk about the Giants. As you are listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ FM and HG1, San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. How are we feeling about those Giants? If we're asking anything.
Well, I'm feeling really good about Casey Schmidt, and I know that the last, I'd say, 7 or 8 games, I believe he's around 250 for the batting average, but a multi-hit game yesterday, that is 8 multi-hit games since being called up, so that makes me feel really good, because I think a lot of times when you see these youngsters, particularly let's go like Joey Bart as an example, you know, he'll have like a game will have like 3 hits, and then he won't get a hit for what feels like forever. And then he'll come back around and have a couple of hits in a game and then a bunch of no hits. Like, you just look at the game logs, and offensively, he looks really, really good. Now, there is some nuance to this, and actually we were talking about this, me and Lubman, on Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys, where you can subscribe for your Giants Bay Area podcasts anywhere you find podcasts. And Casey hasn't drawn a walk yet. Hasn't drawn a walk yet, which I found very, very, very surprising. Now, there's something that I saw yesterday regarding Thairo Estrada, and I kind of want to bring it up because Bonte, I don't know. I think the analytics people have they go a little overboard for me. And here's an example. So Thairo Estrada, they call it a chase rate, okay? Entering tonight. In 2020, he was 30%, 2022, 35.5, and in 2023, 38.5. All right? He's super aggressive, right? And the league average is about 31.5.
Right.
So he's 7 points higher than the league average in terms of chasing. And people say, oh, he's chasing pitches. I want my guys aggressive. I just watched a 12-year career of Brandon Belt nibbling at the plate and not swinging, all right? I like that Thairo Estrada is super aggressive. Now, is there a balance? Do I want a guy to draw a walk every now and then? Absolutely. But I want guys that are going to put the ball in play. It's not just the hits you get. It's the pressure you put on the defense to make a play. And like the whole point of going to the plate, yes, walks are good. No one is sitting here saying that we don't like walks and plate discernment and having a great batter's eye. Do you get on base? That's all that matters. And right now, Estrada gets on base at a high clip. Like, whether he's swinging at everything or not, he has been an impact player for this team.
So I'm going to ask you my own question here. I feel good about the Giants right now. 5.5 back of the Dodgers. You're 25-25.
They're right where they need to be.
They're starting to win on the road. They're 8-2 in their last 10. And they got a great schedule coming up here. I mean, the 3 games in Milwaukee coming up is going to be electrifying, right? They always play well up in Milwaukee or have good games up there. But Alex Wood on the mound today, and then you get Logan Webb against Corbin Burns. That's going to be Saturday, 1 o'clock. That's marquee stuff right there. Logan Webb and Corbin Burns. You want to see Logan Webb win some of these matchups against the ace of another staff. Then you get Alex Cobb to round out the series. Then you get Pittsburgh, who's played well, and you get Baltimore. And then you get into June. You really get into June here, and June's going to be great. June's going to let us know who the Giants will be, I think. At least will they be in a race. In June, you got Pittsburgh, follow the 3-game set against Pittsburgh. Then you go to Colorado for 3. Then you play the Chicago Cubs
Colorado's
for 3 at
playing
home.
a lot better.
St. Louis, you go there for 3.
They're
And that
turning
6-game
around.
road trip into mid-June, St. Louis and L.A. It's going to be big time. big time because St. Louis is starting to turn around. Then you get San Diego for 4, and then you get the scrappy Diamondbacks, and then at the end of the month, you go up to Toronto. So June swoon, will we see the June swoon, or will the Giants still be over 500 when June flips to July? So I feel good about where the Giants are at, but I'm excited to see where the team goes because I do think they could compete for a playoff spot. Now, will it be the end-all, be-all for them to not make the playoffs for me? Absolutely not, especially if you bring up the young guys and you continue to play Schmidt, you continue to play Bailey. We see Matos, we see Kyle Harrison at some point because I think Kyle Harrison, where is he at? 30 to 40 innings pitch right now.
So the feeling now is that they're going to basically try to ease him in so that his arm is nice and fresh down the stretch because it'll be the longest season that he will have completed in terms of the amount of months.
I'm hearing they want to cap him off at about 130 innings. Last year, I think overall. So I believe he was at 115 last year. Mm-hmm. So if they cap him at, slow ramp up there, get a level up, 130, 140 innings. I believe he's at 30. Maybe 30 to 40 now. I know he pitched 480s the other day, shutout. He had a 480 shutout. Nice strikeouts there. So I want to see some of the young guys, but I also think you can compete with the team that you have while bringing up the young guys and getting them some experience. So I'm excited for this next June, for this next month for the Giants, man. I like where they're at right now. They're starting to play some good baseball. They're getting healthier. Look, man, forget trading Michael Conforto. What if you trade Jock?
Well, Jock's been very inconsistent. Who wants platoon, left-handed only, can't play defense, DH? Like, that's a very niche trade. Yep. The reason why Conforto has value is because he's the kind of guy that can slot into a playoff team and play good defensively in the outfield, can knock the ball over the fence. I mean, right now you're looking at a guy who's trending toward hitting over 30 jacks for the Giants. I don't think that that's sustainable because of a variety of reasons, but he's a guy that I think a lot of other contending teams were skeptical on because of missing 18 months. And seeing that he is a solid outfielder, he's a guy who's going to work the count, can hit with 2 strikes, can spray the ball to all fields, can walk into one in terms of power. I think he has a lot of value at the deadline. Now, what I mean by value is you'd get a prospect that actually can do something, not some low-tier type of a guy. And we're not asking a lot here, but I see your point about trying to compete. You're going to lose this guy, and the comp pick that you're going to get if you do lose him when he goes in free agent is not going to be very, very high. So you might end up getting a better minor leaguer. I'm just saying, those are the kind of moves. You got to be realistic. You could still compete, and here's the other part, Bonte. You can still compete for a wild card spot while moving off Conforto. You also have to open up outfield spots for some of these guys in AAA who are performing well, like Luis Matos, who's really having a nice impact. Vaughn Brown at some point is going to want to come up,
right.
And you've got
I don't like that business model,
and Conforto and Haniger, but Haniger's locked in.
I don't like that business model though, and I know it's not. It hasn't hindered the Giants from signing a lot of guys, but I just don't like that model.
What model?
Hey, let's get a guy and let's flip him, even though we're in contention because we can get a prospect here. I just want to keep good players. I want to keep good players around, and maybe I make a decision on Conforto saying, you know what, maybe I want to re-sign him for 2 years because he is a good hitter and he's a professional and a veteran in this clubhouse. I don't like that. I don't like that business model where you're just flipping guys from minor leaguers and you're saying, well, yeah, we can compete, but I want somebody who's been in the race before. I want a lot of guys, and if Crawford's not going to play, and it looks like Crawford's gotten his spot taken by Casey Schmidt.
It's natural.
I would like to move, if you're going to move off a guy, I look to move off a guy like Jock, can open up the GH spot. I look to move a guy, I'm not going to say Mitch Hediger yet, but he is batting 193. I'd be more willing to move off him.
Mitch is going to come around, but he's got 2 more years on his deal.
I get it. That's the type of move I will make, though, if he's got 2 more years left on his deal and move off that money and clear money up. That's how I operate. I don't know. I like Conforto, man. I've always liked him when he's healthy. That's been the biggest problem, though. He hasn't stayed healthy, but he's always been a solid hitter if he is healthy. And he's not a bad defender at all.
No, he's not, but I mean, if this is about the ultimate end game of trying to stack your roster for the real push, which you believe to be next year and the year after that, you also have to be realistic with your assessments. And so, I think Conforto was a nice little stopgap, and I think that they maybe thought some of their outfielders in the minor leagues weren't going to come along this fast. You got to also acknowledge that all of their minor league development has gotten infinitely better this year.
It feels like it has.
Infinitely better. Like Luis Matos, I thought we weren't going to see at minimum till late 2024. Now it feels like he's coming up now. And that I think has surprised them.
Ask anything. 888-957-9570, 408 as we go to break. Have you guys watched Air yet?
I
If
have
so,
not.
what are your thoughts? You
I have
haven't seen
not.
Air
No,
yet?
I haven't yet.
I watched Air, and I think I want to watch it again.
Really?
It was that good to me.
Really?
I really enjoyed that movie. Really good. All right, what's coming up in the game? Sponsored by Save Mart
Interesting.
and Lucky, California.
Have to
Rich
check 'em out.
Aurelia. Rich Aurelia, former Giant. Or excuse me, not Rich Aurelia. Excuse me. That's why I went to Giants. Damn it. Rich Aurelia's not joining us till 9:20. I blew that. Howard Beck's joining us.